What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at the new Supreme King support. I guess it's kind of pendulum support too. Every pendulum card is kind of like pendulum pile support if it says the right words. So let's find out. This is Supreme King Gate Magician. Artwork looks kind of funky, not gonna lie. It looks something off about it, but you can only use the second effect, the second pendulum effect of this card once per turn. This is a textbook. Supreme King Zark you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. Alright. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, place one Supreme King Gate monster other than Supreme King Gate Magician from your deck or hand to your Pendulum zone. 0 is like a scale 10, I think. I think it's a high scale, or maybe it's another 0, so it kind of replaces itself. I don't know. That's okay. I mean, definitely getting a scale from deck is never a bad thing. If you control a Supreme King Gate monster in your Pendulum zone, other than this card, you cannot send, or you can send a Pendulum Dragon, Synchro Dragon, XYZ Dragon, or Fusion Dragon monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Okay, that's a free special summon, which I guess is very good. If this card is special summoned, you can add one card that lists Supreme King Zark from your deck to your hand. So this is kind of like the do-it-all, I guess. You can choose your scales, it adds something, it's a free special summon. So ideally you want to, use this to go into like Beyond the Pendulum or something like that, That's pretty good. I mean, it's Pendulum, so there's just like so many applications that it's kind of hard to, I don't know, conceive everything right now, but I'm kind of just trying to judge these cards based on what I think they could be used, and that one obviously is probably pretty good. Supreme King Dragon Light Worm. Can only use the Pendulum effect once per turn. Okay, that's nice. If a monster is special summoned, you control both the Supreme King Zark and a Pendulum monster. You can special summon this card. Then you can make this card's attributes and level become the same as the Pendulum monster you control. I guess for XYZ summoning or something. It's a tuner. Okay, that's even more interesting. If this card is, I guess, because there is a Supreme King Crystal Wing monster, I'm pretty sure. They have like a synchro that destroys, I think, all special summon monsters or something. But if this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate monster that is face up from your extra deck to your hand. And then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon or XYZ summon Supreme King Dragon Synchro or XZ monster. I wish it was any Pendulum monster, but getting something back, I imagine, is like good, especially if you use this and then you can like add it back or something because it's a free special summon. Like that's something I can see happening. If this card is face up in your extra deck, while a face up Pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add this card to your hand. So good recursion, it kind of does fix a lot of the problems that come along with pendulums, and that when you lose them, they're gone forever, in a sense. This helps with their recurability. Like, you don't lose them in the fact that, since you have, like, face-up monsters, or you have the extra monster zone, you can, use your face-up pendulum monsters to special summon, but if you don't have a link, then you're kind of stuck. Like, you want to have the cards in your hand, that way you can just freely pendulum summon them. So I guess this helps, do that in a lot of different ways. It recurs itself and it recurs another one. And this is a tuner, which I guess is pretty good. Okay, this is Supreme King Divine Dragon Odd Eyes Arc V. It's not short enough. It looks really cool, though. I love Fusion and XYZ Pendulum monsters. I think they're, like, really cool. This looks amazing. You can only use, this is 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Okay, you can only use this Pendulum effect once per turn. If you control 2 cards in your Pendulum zone, you can special summon this card, then you can apply this effect. Shuffle 1 card in the Pendulum zone into the deck, and if you shuffled it into the extra deck, you can special summon that monster, ignoring its summoning conditions. I don't know what the original Supreme King Zark is. It'd be kind of cool. But I don't think, pretty sure if you just like link or like tribute this off, right? Because okay, it's 4 materials, it's 1 each, just like the original Zark, but this card can be treated as Zark, and it must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing a level 12 Dark Supreme King Zark you control. So Obviously, you're just going to, essentially link it off in a way. It's kind of like a link one. Just, I guess it's like extra effects of Zark, right? Which is pretty neat, but I'm like, when you tribute, I'm pretty sure it doesn't go to the Pendulum Zone. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can place one Pendulum monster from your deck into your Pendulum Zone, which is very good. If you're playing the trap heavy version, there's one that brings out Zark for free. If you're doing that, then you can play Floodgate. There's a Floodgate like Performapal. I have the name. I'll find it. If you're playing a control heavy version and you're playing the trap card, you can use Performapal 5 Rainbow Magician. So as long as you have set cards, your opponents cannot activate their effects, basically. As long as they do not have set cards and you do, your opponent can't activate effects, monster effects. So there's an application here, even if you're not playing Pendulum monsters. If this card is destroyed and the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. So it's also scale 13, which helps. So far so good. Like, I haven't read one bad card. Dragon with Radiant Wings. Okay. During your main phase, you can add one Supreme King Dragon or one Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Or if you control Zark, you can special summon instead. Very good, obviously. It's either E-Telly or Searching. Can't complain. Supreme King Miracle. If you control a Supreme King Zark, you can activate the following effects. Destroy one Zark you control, and if you do, special summon an Odd Eyes Pendulum monster or light Supreme King Zark from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Seems oddly specific. Place one face-up Pendulum monster from the extra deck to your Pendulum Zone. Set one quick play spell from your deck to your field. I mean, that's kind of good, but I think it's probably just for like a reference to the duel in the anime, I'm sure. But it's a trap. It's in Pendulums. Not very good, in my opinion. I think one of the ones I just talked about before, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just references to the anime. Soul of Heavenly Supreme King Dragon. Tribute one spellcaster Pendulum monster you control with 2,500 attack. Oddly specific. It's fusion summon one Supreme King Zark from banishing materials from your hand, deck, extra deck, and or graveyard. If you do not have a Pendulum Dragon, XYZ Dragon, Single Dragon, and Fusion that are banished, the effects of the monsters that are special summoned by this effect are negated. Interesting. So it just kind of brings it out for free too, in a sense. It still doesn't seem very easy to bring out Zark, but like I said, there's tons of ways to cheat it out, and the other ones just kind of seem like generic Pendulum support. Like, you don't really have to go into Zark too hard. You can just search extenders, which I think will probably be one of its main uses. But I don't know, it's kind of cool. I love Arc V. It's one of my favorites. So it's cool to see it get new support. And I like that there's kind of an upgraded Zark version. I really like that they're doing this recently. Or they're either doing it through Link 1s, or it's like Contact Fusions kind of thing. I like the direction they're going for legacy support. Instead of just retraining them, just make upgraded versions that you can go into. That way you can play the original, which I think a lot of people like. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.